he has the audacity to call me fat when he's saying he can't make 145 anymore when he's a midget.
What's up, everyone? Shaquille Mahjoudi here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He fights Michael Chandler in the co-main event of UFC 314 in Miami. Paddy the Baddie Pimblett, how are you, sir?
I'm good, fella. Thank you very much for asking.
Thank you for doing this. And I mean, man, what a crazy 1-2 punch with this main and co-main. Before we talk about the fight, though, I am curious. In a world where Football Manager doesn't exist, what would Paddy Pimblett have done with those 37 plus days that he's logged on a single file?
I think it's much higher than 37 on that
At
one
this
now
point, I
as
bet.
well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll be watching things on Netflix or something like that because I don't really get a chance to play my games console anymore. But now the kids are here. I don't really get that much chance to play Footy Manager either.
Yeah, I imagine that was probably the case. Although the nice thing about a game like that, right, is like you can just kind of like sneak away and pick at it little by little, right? You don't have to commit to like one long session.
Yeah, you can just pull the laptop out, open it, password in, and it opens straight up. You know what I mean? It's not like going on your Xbox and then halfway through a game of FIFA you're getting shouted to do something.
I used to play so many booking sims. I totally get it. We have this fight with Michael Chandler coming up, and I gotta say, I will admit when I'm wrong. I was one of those people who did not believe that Paddy the Baddie Pimblett would be at this stage today. So my bad. I got it wrong. Um, the Bobby Green fight for me was like the real turning point where I'm like, oh, holy shit, he's putting everything together. I know you've often felt disrespected or maybe underappreciated. Have you sensed like a turn in fan reaction to like what you can do?
A little bit, know what I mean? Some, but only a small minority. Like before the Bobby Green fight, everyone was saying, "Oh, Paddy's gonna get knocked out. He's not on this level." Blah blah. And then when I did beat him in emphatic fashion, they all moved the goalpost. Oh, Bobby Green was old. They give him a striker because it would be easier for them to grapple him. Know what I mean? So I'm used to the goalpost getting moved. It's been happening since the first fought when I was 16. It's not new to me. I'm used to it. So I like it when people hate. Know what I mean? I like it when people say that I can't do this and I can't do that because I want to prove them wrong.
Who is Michael Chandler in 2025 in your estimation? Like he's on his first losing streak since his Bellator days. How would you sort of rate him right now?
Still think he's very good. Know what I mean? I'm not gonna take nothing away from him. It's just this sport, a young man's game. His age is catching up with him a little bit, and it's just one of them. Like that's what this sport does. You can't keep fighting until you get to a certain age. You've seen it. Only heavyweights can do that because like speed, you lose your speed first, and at
Hmm.
our weight divisions, bantam, feather, lightweight, welterweight, they make a big difference.
What was going through your mind when you got this call? Because obviously the UFC has put you in like strong positions on cards, especially when they go over to the UK. But I feel like when you get a fight against a guy like Michael Chandler, that's the UFC saying like, it's your time now.
Yeah, as soon as the name got mentioned to me in December, I was like, yeah, let's do this. When? Like, I'm never turning a fight down, especially someone who's ranked in the top seven and they fought for the world title before, the UFC world title. They've been Bellator champion before. Every one of the fights in the UFC, apart from Tony Ferguson, against the top five opponents. So, yeah, I was always down for fighting Michael Chandler. I was never going to say no to this fight, and I get to go over to Miami and do it, which is even better.
Have you warmed up at all to the peanut butter and jelly sandwich since your days on Bert's podcast?
Yeah, know what it was
What?
over here? Jelly is what you call Jello.
Mmm.
So I was thinking peanut butter and Jello sandwich,
I see.
and then me friend who's my videographer, Blaze, he made one here. He made one in my house, and I had some of it, and I was like, oh, that's what you mean. So because to us, that's peanut butter and jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you call jelly, we call jam.
Jam. Okay. So it has the Paddy the Baddie approval now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
As I say, my friend Blaze made one, and I had a bite and was like,
Okay.
Yeah, they do complement each other actually. That's it's like when someone told me to have grapes with cheese for the first time. I was
Mm.
like, that's weird. And then when I had it, I was like, no, that's nice.
You know, that's a mature man's peanut butter and jelly
Yeah.
sandwich. Um, I know I've seen in other interviews you talk about, possibly stealing this Conor McGregor fight. We have Ilia now moving up to the lightweight division. If you could for me, in a perfect world, what is Paddy Pimblett's 3-fight plan post Michael Chandler? If you could book it, if you could have whatever you wanted for your next 3 fights.
Well, obviously everyone wants the Conor fight, but personally, I'd rather like my plan is to fight the top five opponents, then fight for the belt, and then I don't care who they are as well. To be honest, top five opponent, fight for the belt, and then if my first title defense could be Conor McGregor in Anfield, then that is perfect
I like
because
that.
that's where the money is, and I'm filling Anfield out, me and Conor. But obviously, I do want to batter hand sanitizer boy. I want to show him how small he is and let it show him that he's got little man syndrome. So he's another one that I'd love to fight.
So obviously the two of you have been going back and forth for quite a while. What is going through your mind when you hear that he's vacating the title to move up to lightweight? Because now the fight is more possible than ever, especially with you having this Chandler fight on the horizon.
I was thinking, wow, you're stupid. Why have you moved up to this division? Like he's tiny. He's like 5'5", 5'6". I don't understand why. Like he has the audacity to call me fat when he's saying he can't make 145 anymore when he's a midget. Like it just doesn't make sense. I think he ran from 145 to be honest, because he knew Volk not coming off a knockout loss 12 weeks earlier would give him a much tougher fight than his first fight with him. And then he also had Evloev and Lopez to fight. Like I would have had a lot more respect for Ilya if he would have defended that belt 2 more times, and then I think he would have been able to keep his belt and not have to vacate it and move up and fight Islam or whoever has the belt at the time. But I don't think he deserves a straight title shot, and I don't think the UFC do either. I think he's going to have to fight someone in the top three or something if he wants to get a title shot.
If we have to make a prediction, is it more likely that Paddy and Ilia meet in a title eliminator or with one of you as the defending champion?
I don't know, because surely he's going to get a fight booked in the next couple of months. He should have a fight booked by the time I fight Michael Chandler. That's what I'm thinking anyway. He should have a fight booked by then, definitely.
You said something when you were talking about Ilia previously that actually really resonated with me, and you said that champions are too quick to switch weight classes these days. Why do you think it is that the champions aren't defending their titles as often as we saw with guys like Anderson Silva and GSP and DJ? Because in my opinion, for as great as champ status is, when I think of the greatest of all time, I'm often thinking about the guys who managed to clear out their divisions.
Yeah, same. Like the Mount Rushmore of MMA is John Jones, GSP, Anderson Silva, and Mighty Mouse, and they're all champions. What defended their belts over 6, 7 times, something like that. And I think it's the Conor McGregor effect. Everyone wants to be Conor McGregor. Like Ilia Topuria is the worst for it. You know what I mean? He's copied his chest tattoo and his back tattoo and all that. He just wants to be Conor McGregor, but you can't be Conor McGregor when you've got the charisma of a tin of beans. So it's one of them. I think everyone's just copied the McGregor route. But as you say, it's a lot more when you defend your belt multiple times, like what Volk did. Volk defended his belt about 5 times or something like that, and then he had the chance to move up to Islam. I think Adesanya defended his belt like 3 times at least. Same with DC. DC defended the light heavyweight belt multiple times and then moved up to fight for the heavyweight belt. But as you say, nowadays champs are talking about going up and fighting people straight away. Bilal Muhammad hasn't even got a title defense, and he's talking about moving up, isn't he? It's
Yeah.
it's madness.
So safe to say, Paddy wants to be the kind of champ that defends his title.
Yeah, if I win, well, when I win the belt, I'll be defending my belt 3 times. I won't be rushing to move up. You know what I mean? Unless the UFC wants me to and they ask me to, I won't be moving up. I'll be wanting to defend my belt and cement my legacy at that weight class.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard did you front kick that little person? Because you sent that poor man flying. And also, what was going through your mind when like you saw the him cover that kind of distance?
I actually did not kick him that hard. Know what I mean? Like I was with Danny Duncan and his crew, and I didn't mean to kick him. Like I didn't want him to go flying that far. I didn't expect it because I didn't proper put the teep in. Like, it was like 50%, but just where he's little and he hasn't got that much weight behind him, he went absolutely flying.
Just a couple on our way out here first. Sorry about that. My apologies. Um, Very quickly, I've been asking a lot of people this question, specifically in the lightweight division. Dustin Poirier sounds like his retirement fight will shortly be announced. In your opinion, what is Dustin Poirier's legacy?
Um, he's half a legend, like, isn't he? He's probably one of the best fighters in the UFC's seen that hasn't won a title because a lot of people you don't really include an interim title, do you, in champions? So he is probably one of the better fighters ever on the roster that never won the actual title. He's like the Carlos Condit of the lightweight division.
Last thing, apparently you and I have a very similar taste in hip hop music. What is the rap song, most impressive rap song that you can sing start to finish, no issues?
Several. I can sing a lot of rap songs from start to finish. A lot. Some Nas, some Biggie, some Mobb Deep, some Eminem. Oh, I could sing a lot from start to finish.
Do you need any updates to your playlist? Because I've got a pretty good hip hop playlist if you need it. Lots of big horns, lots of guitar riffs, lots of boom bap.
Well, I've got a playlist there myself. But yeah, I can always go for some new ones.
I'll send it to Miguel. He can forward it to you. Okay.
Fine.
Paddy, I really appreciate this. I'm sure we'll talk in the lead up closer to the fight. If there's anything you want to tell the people on the way out, I'd like to give you the last word, my friend.
No, thank you for the support, everyone, and haters keep on hating because you drive me on to be the best that I've ever been, and I cannot wait to come to Miami and absolutely blow the roof off the gaff.